फर्स्ट चैप्टर है जिसे मैं कंटिन्यू कर रहा हूँ और टुडेज टॉपिक इज लॉज ऑफ केमिकल कॉम्बिनेशन क्या है। इसके लिए मैं आपको फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग अबाउट लॉज ऑफ केमिकल कॉम्बिनेशन बताऊंगा। तो सबसे पहली बात, लॉज ऑफ केमिकल कॉम्बिनेशन है क्या। यू नो, like in our day-to-day life, we have to follow some laws right from the beginning of our life, inside our home, outside our home, maybe in your school. Somebody have to follow the rules in the offices and all. So in the same way, chemical reactions also follow some rules, and these rules are called laws of chemical combination. What that mean? Every chemical reaction takes place following these rules, and these rules are called laws of chemical combination. The first one is called law of conservation of mass. First one is called law of conservation of mass. Second one is called law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion. Third one is called law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion. The fourth one is there, which is called law of gaseous volume. While the fifth one is called Avogadro law. Avogadro law. There is another one, and probably more, law of reciprocal. Yeah, just forget, that's not something you need to do, because as per the 11th class, there are just 5 laws of chemical combination you need to study. So I repeat back again, the laws which are followed by the chemical reactions are collectively called laws of chemical combination. There are 5 laws. Let's start with the first one. The first one is, as you have seen it already here, it's called laws of conservation of mass. So this is something you probably know already, right from your your juniors, maybe 10th standard, 9th standard maybe. What this one has to say, it states that masses of reactants in a chemical reaction must be equal to masses of product. Masses of product. What that means? Mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. Let's take an example to get through what the law of conservation of mass. Suppose hydrogen react with oxygen and it gives a product like H2O2. Actually, hydrogen and oxygen can react together to form not only hydrogen peroxide, but they can also form hydrogen, they can also form water. So H2 plus O2 can also form H2O. But right now, we need to get through only one of them and how they actually follow. The first thing we need to do is to make sure the equation is balanced. If it's not, you need to balance it. So the mass of hydrogen is 2 gram, oxygen is right here 32 gram, and hydrogen peroxide is going to be 34 gram. How? Because you do know the mass of hydrogen is 1, however mass of oxygen is 16. So 32 plus 2, 34. Similarly there, 2 plus 32. What we need to do, we need to add it. So it's going to be something 34. And there it's also 34. So this proves that a chemical reaction, after it is balanced properly, follow laws of conservation of mass. So this is what the first law is about, and probably you know about. In case you don't, Do let me know if there is any other doubts you have in your mind. Let's talk about the second one. It's called law of multiple proportion. Sorry, law of definite proportion. That's the third one. Law of definite proportion. What that mean? It means a given compound always contain same proportion of elements, same percentage of elements by mass in its both natural and artificial sample. Natural and artificial sample. What I mean here is that a given compound doesn't matter if it's natural or artificial, it always has same proportion of elements by mass. Let's take an example. If you consider, there's so many examples, but the one I remember is from NCERT, so I need to explain that. It says that in cupric carbonate CuCO3, there are of course three elements: copper, carbon and oxygen, and it has both natural and artificial form. In both cases, in natural as well as in artificial cases, the copper is going to be something like 51.3% as far as I remember. The carbon is going to be something 9.3 maybe 9.3%, and oxygen remaining is going to be something like 38 or maybe 39. Let's take it 38.9 or something. The artificial one also contain exactly the same proportion of elements by mass. So let's repeat it back, because this is how I believe you can actually go with the topic. Law of definite proportion, it is the second law of laws of chemical combination, which says कि एक compound चाहे किसी भी फॉर्म में हो, आर्टिफिशियल फॉर्म में या नेचुरल फॉर्म में हो, उसमें जितने भी एलिमेंट्स होंगे उनका परसेंटेज ऑफ मास हमेशा सेम होता है, एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट्स आल्सो कॉल्ड लॉ ऑफ डेफिनिट कॉम्पोजिशन. दिस इज आल्सो कॉल्ड लॉ ऑफ डेफिनिट कॉम्पोजिशन आल्सो. दिस इज आल्सो कॉल्ड लॉ ऑफ डेफिनिट composition. Sorry about my poor handwriting, but that's not I'm concerned about. So I hope you have understood what law of definite proportion is. In case you don't, do let me know with your comments and anything you have to say about. Let's talk about the third one. The third one is called law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion. What that mean? If two elements, let me first write it so that you can make a record of that or copy in your notebook also. If two elements can combine to form more than one product, then masses of one element that combine with that fixed mass of other element element are in simple and whole number ratio. Let's talk about, and then I will give you some example. This law of multiple proportion says कि अगर दो एलिमेंट्स आपस में कंबाइन करके एक से ज्यादा प्रोडक्ट बनाता है तो उनमें से एक एलिमेंट का मास तो हमेशा कांस्टेंट अमाउंट में यूज होगा, लेकिन अगर हम दूसरे एलिमेंट के मासेस का रेशियो निकालेंगे तो वो सिंपल एंड होल नंबर में आएगा. Let's repeat it back. If two elements can combine to form more than one product, then the masses of one element are going to be fixed while the other will be in a simple and whole number ratio. Let's take example to get through the whole topic. Suppose I'm talking about, nitrogen which react with hydrogen, then it forms ammonia. It forms ammonia, and in order to make it right, we need to balance it. Let's balance this one multiplying by 3. There, the mass of nitrogen is 28 gram, hydrogen is going to be 6 gram, and it's producing something 34 gram ammonia. But nitrogen and hydrogen can also form another product, that is the topic is about N2H4, nitrogen hydride also, nitrogen tetrahydride. Now make sure it's balanced, so it's multiplied by 2. Then what we see that the mass of nitrogen again is 28, while the mass of hydrogen is 4. So what you need to understand that the mass of nitrogen in both cases are fixed. Nitrogen in both cases are 28 gram. However, the masses of hydrogen are definitely, as you can see, is going to be in a ratio of 3:2. So the masses of hydrogen in both cases are in simple and whole number ratio. Whole number ratio.